So great. So, started a light snow in Jacksboro. Alan, be careful with that Dr. Pepper. A lot of caffeine in that. Promised us snow. I better deliver. Milia, let me know. It's coming. It's laying in Maryville now, not in South Knoxville. Missy, it'll be probably less than 10 minutes before it starts. I do want to stress that for a lot of people, you're off work, the kids are off school. This will be fun. I don't want to make this doom and gloom or hype this up. Yes, there is very high travel impacts regionally, but for us back at home, a lot of the kids will have fun in the snow. So 2 o'clock continuing to snow, and we'll run through this twice. 3:30 we'll get some banding, see that deep purple, and then it'll start to taper off closer to midnight. So live look on the left of Ober Mountain. So to the point, a lot of people are going to enjoy this as it continues to snow and then pick up intensity in that bright purple. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock tonight. That's higher intensity. Today, briefly at 32 degrees. The temperature is not a big deal, right? Tonight, only down to 28. We'll actually stay more mild. But we'll go through some tips because it is going to get a lot colder. All right, we've got so much fun scale Friday into Saturday. For the kids, we have the sledding day. I imagine it'll be really busy out at Lakeshore, out in Middle Tennessee. We have some sticking snow, and we'll take you on a tour of some of these cameras. All right, so this is what you want to see, right? Snowfall potential. How much are we going to see in your town? Let's see. Snowing in Pleasant Hill, Liz says. Widespread 3 to 5 inches in the heart of the valley. The outlier weather maps, which we really didn't give too much credence to, although we saw them, there were like 10, 11 inches of snow in Knoxville. Those are not happening. Those maps like the HER, the GFS, the NAM, those came back to reality, which is what we want to see. So the snow is coming, and it's going to have high impacts for you. Already a dusting in Maryville, Diane says. What about Mooresburg, Tennessee? You are on the map there near Rutledge, and you're looking at about 3 to 4 isolated 5 inches, depending on your elevation there. Winter storm warning for everybody until 7 o'clock this morning. Is that still Nashville, David?
That was Riceville.
Riceville. Okay. The other camera. Okay. So Riceville snow sticking on a bunch of our TDOT cameras. Eventually, the highways will become basically down to one lane, I imagine, as TDOT kind of manicures one lane. Typically, it's the fast lane. By 5 o'clock, I hope you are home by then, because the snow will be sticking on the roads, no question about it. Let's walk you. Okay, we're going to head back to me real fast. This is important here. This weekend, after tomorrow morning, it's going to be real quiet. People are going to be outside, making sure that you have a way to stay warm safely and reliably, because it's only going to get colder yet again. So checking in on the neighbors, making sure that your pets have dry bedding. And if you need to go get that gasoline, if you need the medications, and you don't have enough to get you through the next few days, I would go out and get it now. Yeah, it's snowing in a bunch of places, but it's not super impact yet. Making sure that you replace the pet's water. Even a big bowl will freeze over soon. And then covering the spigots and faucets, because again, temperatures are going to get down into the teens in a hurry. This is one of my favorite tools. It's called the Winter Storm Severity Index, and we are at a medium impact, right? This is not a repeat of last year where there was extreme impacts, but this is typically what would be the biggest snow event of a year, of a season. For now, flurries into snow showers, hence the first alert, snowy and isolated icing. So I came on here, I think 9 minutes ago, and in the last 9 minutes, you can tell a difference at Watt Road. It's even more snowy, and then snow beginning to stick on the highway between lanes. Those lane changes become increasingly tough later today. Sandy says, yes. Sarah says, nothing in Coreyton, but it'll probably be there in less than 20 minutes, at least light snow. Snowing pretty good in Oliver Springs, thanks to Emily Susanna. Mary says, Caryville getting snow, and so does Mary in Caryville. Lightly coming down in West Knoxville. That's from Jennifer England. Appreciate it. Daniel says, I am from Buffalo, New York. I moved here 2 years ago. They had gates on the highways that closed the ramps. So it is fascinating. There are so many people that are moving to East Tennessee from different parts of the world. One of our bosses here, he came from South Georgia, and he said, hey, I haven't really driven in snow before. So just so much different experience. I will leave the driving decisions up to all you guys. Light dusting in West Merrill from Kent. No snow in New Market yet from Mike and Melissa. Let's see, 1.7 miles outside Newport over in the holler. How much snow will be on my garden gnome's head? It's fascinating in Newport because I do think there'll be a little downsloping, but several inches. I don't know if it's going to be a gnome coverer, but we'll watch it for you. This is the view at Watt Road. David, are you able to switch it over to this other camera? This is I-75 South at 42. That's Cleveland?
That's Riceville.
The one on the left? Yeah, wow, that's pretty impressive. So this is the view at Riceville, McMinn County, and you're already seeing deterioration on I-75 South. So this is our area. I thought, hey, this is probably closer to Cleveland given how much snow is sticking. But the roads are going to become increasingly tough to travel on later today. Super gloomy in Gatlinburg. That is the key. These ceilings are lowering. You know when people say it looks like it's going to snow, what you're actually seeing is the ceiling lowering. All right, start time is 8 to 10 a.m. So we're past that on the west. It's snowing on all these places. 10 to noon, right on time. We're at right at 11. I heard somebody's phone ding there for 11 o'clock. So right at the button, the middle of that in Knoxville, it'll be noon. Then we get into the navy blue, and then you're on to snow in other places. You're also getting a view of Ober Mountain, and I really want to stress, yes, this is serious. It's a first alert weather day, but boy, the kids are gonna love it. Parents, you're gonna love it. Just make sure that you're safe and you have a safe and reliable way to heat things. All right, this is the view of Watt Road. A lot of commercial vehicles out there in the first and second lanes, the fast lane and the middle lane. You're seeing that snow sticking, and that's going to just stack up through the day. Even though TDOT will work on it, you see some work trucks there. But that lane change is going to be really tough later in the day, trust me. Light snow in South Knox at Island Home, barely coming down in Coreyton, which is different than a couple of minutes ago when they said that it wasn't snowing there, so it's coming. Snowing pretty good in Vonore. How much is Harriman Oakdale area going to have? I would say probably close to 4 to 5. Some spots maybe on the lower end, some spots could approach 6. Winter storm warning is huge. This is the big picture. Snow from Atlanta right now up to like Cleveland, Ohio, and Cleveland, Tennessee too. We're going to see a little wintry mix here. It's trying to cut into totals a little bit in Monroe, McMinn, South Blunt later. And again, it's snowing in a bunch of places. Some heavier bands in Bell County, Kentucky is what I'm looking at right now. This is the view, I-75 northbound at the 25.2 mile marker. I think that is Cleveland. So we've seen a bunch of wrecks. There's a state trooper going by monitoring the roads. And right now, back in middle parts of East Tennessee, like Knoxville, this is the time if you've got to run errands. I'm not saying you have to be off the roads right now. And I am big on not telling people what to do as far as driving. That's got to be your decision. But the later in the day you go, there's no question that travel is going to become more difficult. But again, I'm not, I can't speak for you as far as whether to be out on the roads or not. We've got more bands of snow coming in at 7:30 to 8:30, and it's going to get progressively heavier right around then. So late evening, by the time most people are home, that's when the snow is going to come down, and then you wake up to several inches of snow by tomorrow. You should have no problem sticking. Excuse me. 3, 4, 5 o'clock, more snow bands coming through, maybe a little lull during dinner, and then again it picks up in the evening. Today, 32. Temperature's not the biggest deal, although they're cold enough where we'll have no problem sticking, which is definitely not always the case. Tonight down to 28, down sloping chance through midnight to dawn. By the way, look at the left of your screen. Watt Road, West Knoxville. Snow sticking in a hurry. And between the fast lane and the middle lane, I think the left side of your screen is heading away from town, and going up the hill is heading into Knoxville. Travel's already becoming difficult in just in the last 30 minutes. So much fun scale though for the kids. This will be a good sledding event by tomorrow morning especially. And then we've got, a few flurries out there. David, if you want to take the Lincoln camera, feel free. This is Ober. People are loving it on the Snow Much Fun scale. And then in other places, you are having just a few flurries. So what a difference. Watt Road, the roads are, they're definitely passable, but they're tough. And then meanwhile in East Knoxville, near the fairgrounds, you have Zoo Knoxville, and Lincoln the Red Panda is walking around in just a few flurries. By the way, this camera is available anytime, because if you're stuck inside and you just want to enjoy some beautiful scenery, check out Lincoln the Red Panda from our partners at Zoo Knoxville later on today. Snowfall potential, really not much has changed, which is good. We do not ever want to have a scenario where we're making these snap decisions last minute to bump up or down snowfall. And so we really want to be consistent, and that's the key too. So Friday to Saturday, several inches of snow, 3, 4, 5 in the valley. I was thinking probably 5 for Knoxville yesterday, maybe closer to 4, 4.2. It's a pretty good spread, and impacts are the same. What's the weather for Hancock County today? It's not doing nothing. That is totally expected, Bradley. It's coming after noon to 1 o'clock, and then you get several inches of snow. So trust us on that. You are getting snow today. It's about here, Brandon says. How much snow do you think for Sevierville? Check out the map on your screen. Depends on the side of Sevierville. Sevierville is massive from north to south, so probably 3 to 4 for much, but maybe a little less closer to the foothills. Starting in Clinton, that's from Mildred Grand. Thank you. Let's see. No snow, says Paula. Thank you. It'll be there. Nothing as of 11 o'clock in South Knoxville. Just depends on the part of South Knoxville. It's already sticking in parts. Diane, this is key. Yippee! I'm excited. So people are loving that. Nothing in Inskip and Norwood along the Broadway corridor. But then, and Melissa says, it is snowing in Hall. So it just depends. But trust me, it'll be here sooner rather than later. Winter storm warning for everybody through 7 o'clock in the morning. And again, you're also getting a tour of the cameras. This is the view in Riceville, which is McMinn County. And that's not a back road. That's 75. Woo, that guy is going fast in the slow lane. I would really encourage people not to do precisely that. No matter how good you think you are at driving in snow, that is too fast for snowy conditions, for sure. Woo, that gave me chills. They're flying still on 75, but you want to be real careful, right? You can see the snow left behind in those wakes. Anyways, 5 o'clock today, around 30 degrees. Temperatures aren't going to change a whole lot. One thing I do want to talk about is after the snow, right? We have a little bit of refreezing into next week. You got to check on your neighbors and pets and pipes, plants. It's winter. Hopefully you've handled the plants for the winter. But neighbors, check on them. Make sure that they have a safe and reliable method of heating. If they're relying strictly on a space heater, invite them over. Cosby, Cassandra says the ground's turning right. Christy, what about Mascot? Nothing here. It should be there in under 30 minutes. It's right on that timeline of 10 to 12 for the heart of the valley. Scott says it's snowing in North Knoxville and sticking. What about NC? Jeff, I got to be completely honest with you. We are so focused on East Tennessee and South Kentucky that I haven't looked. My parents say maybe 1 to 2 inches around Raleigh, and then good amount of snow in Charlotte, but that's about as specific as I can get. No snow in Alcoa yet or Rutledge, but it's coming. Snowing very good in Spring City. Thanks, Jamie. Snowing in Louisville. That's from Lonnie Williams III. Where's Valley? Dakota says it's snowing. but Stephanie says not in Kodak yet. Elizabethton, I would check, Daniel, with the local TV stations up there, but it shouldn't be that much different. Yard turning white in Powell, thanks to Whitney. Snowing good in London. I'm guessing that's London, Kentucky. What about Morristown, Vanessa Sue Gibson asks. No snow yet, but it's coming. Several inches, probably 3 to 4, maybe isolated spots at 5, depending on where you are. And I'll wrap up with this graphic, but I'm not done quite yet. But this is the Winter Storm Severity Index. We're at a medium across the region, maybe a little less snow in the valley. Okay, thanks, David. We've got a little less snow, probably 2 to 3 in parts of the foothills because of some mixing. But by 5 o'clock, completely different story from right now. Again, we're right on schedule. A lot of you, northeast of Knoxville, are not expected to see snow until noon. There has been no change in the timeline, no change in the broader impacts, and just minimal tweaking on the snowfall forecast. All of those are great, and we are totally aware for most people, you're off for today, you're heading into the weekend, and this will be a fun snow. So we are going to wrap it up and continue to show you the conditions deteriorating throughout the day, or for the kids, conditions for sledding getting even better. Meteorologist Ben Cathy here. We will see you today at noon. We may have some cut-ins, and then we have a full slate for you at 3:30 to 6:30, 7 to 8, 10 to 11:30, along with additional team coverage through the weekend. We'll see you, and we'll get through this, and a lot of you will love it. Today is the day.